Whoa, that's a belly show. It's fine in most galaxies, maybe not all of them. Here, let's button that up. Hello, wonderful beautiful places. My name is Neji Uzumaki, or Adam Snowflake, and I'm a character from Naruto. I just got done with a 12-year journey with my brother, Jordan Witz Cohen, from he's the guy in Spark, not me, Jordan Mage, or Jordan Cohen Mage. It's very different in name similars. You can call me Zone Adamith Captor, or, Snowflake Captor, and I just got done with an Outer Worlds trip. It was a long time coming about agreeing to be fuel for Cuba's people, and it kind of got expanded into like a lot of different peoples and things, and it was a great journey. This is me. Earth is a level 2 nation. What that means is it's a cosmology, and groups have often second preference, meaning we don't do body horror a lot. We have visitors and special things for that. I'm a baby seal puppy. This is me as a Judgment Crest. Because there was actually Judgment Crest. I did not know that on the trip. I did not know that until after. I know that years later now. And it was Emo's logo, Adam's No Man's Sky crest. Because I am from No Man's Sky, which is actually still a mod of my game called, sorry, because I was helping Amelia Pond. It was actually my video game, not Stacy's House, which is a mod on it, not Fear Grand Sanctuary, which is a mod on it, not that cool VR game about the scary stuff in the apartment, because that was me living at a shrine that I'm about to go back to. I'm at Mark's house for a few days, and I have to go back to my overflooded apartment. My eyes are this level condens. This is how you'd present their condens for aliens watching. Filtered on filter. This is how you set my eyes condens, and it's correctly done. You're like, wow, you see nothing. You see drawings and doodles, and you see them black and white faded. Yes, I do. It's just not full grayscale. It is still black and white gray. I still have Hanbook, a disorder where I see cartoons everywhere. Well, I see spirits as cartoons, and it's at that level, and it's unusual to be frozen there, because most people with Hanbook, which is a white void where you see like Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender, with their feet on the ground to see, would not prefer a choke where you have to cut or scrape to see or gouge out your eyes. And I kept gouging out my eyes when I was sober at a place because I was volunteering called Reverse Docky to help people in at a family reunion that I was a part of as Skip Marley. I am Skip Marley. I did not think this was a secret. I thought it was fine to say I was running Reiki when I was running Reiki. I was dyeing my hair black, guys. It might look like a new chloroform. It might look like a new Venerodontica. It might look like a new antenna on Arachnos. Well, it's because I'm filtered, and you guys have to choose this time. I am a slave called a Chin. You are allowed to choose for me certain things forever. Slave is just a huge part of my identity. I don't think it is like the worst thing ever, because I did have to get my chest removed for Boris' species. And while I won't present it now, this is me without a chest binder. FTM transgender sometimes sees overweight. I see a giant pro-loaded stomach. And you guys get to vote this time around on my slavery status for emo, because it's all about something called emo. And what is emo actually is today's video again. So what is emo actually? What is pathological, psychological, and cognitive emo? Why did it require that big intro? And why am I like not doing a sponsor and ad, but I do drink Dr. Pepper right now because I'm starving of Coca-Cola, where we'll halfway do a Baja Blast. Okay, so just in general, pathological emo, which I made working with the Naruto and the Death Star's Cosmonian Crescent Force. That means it's a frozen asteroid that I expect to be a whole entire cosmos that's just scary to think about as a no man's sky, as frozen over snowfall. Because aliens wear emo, guys. Aliens, people from other planets. And visitors, they wear emo. So we had to premiere emo, as I promised the mission trip emo. I was in No Man's Sky. My brother and I were just hanging out at Citadel the whole time. We hanging out with several guys. It was this giant adventure. You might know as Tobias' Star Journey in Analogs, because analogs aren't usually horrific. They just will have a horror arc to reveal why we're doing an analog at some point out of context. And it's usually remapped to be the first act, but not required to be, as I created and they're fine. So people think that slavery is usually I must obey, I have an owner, I have no say in free will. That's a servitus, and it's a very different walk of life and lifestyle that I am not a part of, that I was against for African Americans against their will. They do choose to be a slave group identified eventually when older if you keep the skin color after St. Simon's avatarisms, layer over ballpoints, or you really came with me as Martin Luther King Jr. and we did stuff. There's nothing wrong with Black Power or the fist or identifying with that or the group. Yahoo! I do like Donald Trump as Darth Vader. I am a huge supporter of my father as Ivanka. I think as the first Darth Vader, who was a left-leaning Malcolm X, it's whenever we take him out of context with how he speaks Southern, it's because we took him out of context Southern. It's why he was a hero to do that to emo, and I'm honest about it. It was Make America Emo again. And the problem is if you had a Southerner who talked that backwards, he'd kind of sound as akin to change his species against my will over and over again as an imp. He would sound kind of bigoted in the wrong ways, and I think it's fine. We're about to meet some people of the Death Star. They might have to be heavily filtered as aliens. So I made an emo for aliens called Pathologicals Emo. So Pathologicals Emo is what I'm wearing right now. It is usually like guts to position. If it was in red and black, like all emo, you would instantly know the silhouette. And it would look kind of carny with a tutu, and then it would be like light pink hoodies and stuff. And I talked to people through the tape again, because there's this tape called Idiaki about like a scary thing that happened at my house once, which was an analog famously about fairies and scary gardens and mushroom people. I don't really remember what it was about, but I was fine in the end as the kid from the clay animations. I was fine. You know, the histories I talk through the tape to people who want to be the style, and it's always an audition to be my friend from those tapes. And, you know, sometimes it's always a scary ritual, because if magic is invisible like that, going the route of magic instead of magi, which is always tangible in weird ways, even though it hasn't eliminated stagnant and sector and stigma, yeah, if magic is an invisible person push in a rape system of only dragons, it's gonna have a color coding and it's gonna have unique things. So I made a fairy-based emo of psychology to help different thoughts and feelings. And I guess that's where today's video is. I made it for No Man's Sky. I talked to several people through the tape throughout the cosmos, and we just kept building it as psychological emo is a thing where you just wear it based on your mentality. It doesn't have a pain threshold or requirement, or you have to have gone through this to go through it. It is cursed emo as pathological emo, meaning if you have a curse that you think just justifies you wearing emo, you are totally welcome to, no matter what you learned you did wrong, to do it. Because curses in Magi are usually, I have to learn this lesson, and the rinse of getting to feel that justification again is worth the pain over and over, in a painful cycle of being abusive, unlearned, mentally alone. I am not allowed to know cursed people. I'm allowed to know people who are ex-curses, and they become ex-curses through me. I was almost under citrus as a conjure once. It's famously an MMD people have seen. Sometimes I'm people's OCs, and I'm cool with that as Adam Snowflake. I am Naruto Senchin Uzumaki, and I'm currently going by Neji Uzumaki, but it's still Hokage Senchin at the moment. Some things are only a fantasy, and pathological emo seeks to explore several contingencies I've stated on the WordPress. If you have to do a psychological emo, you have to state stuff for aliens and visitors. And you kind of address it needlessly casual, saying, hello, my boyo, because despite what you believe, Scientology is not just a cult, it's also a community to feelings, and it's also a lot of things that when it's devout goes the root of a cult doctrine or two, but there's millions of different options as the creator of Scientology. I'm not going to preach Scientology at you, because I still don't know whether or not I'm even considered a Scientologist, even though I'm considering it as Brett Shotacon. It's whether or not you would demand emotions for those feelings, because emotions are not allowed to be gods, so like the Muggle option that all of Galatea had as a time period. And there's more. So psychological emo usually has requirements on what the feeling is. And so it's eating alive, fairies, and feeling down in the dumps. That is pathological emo. You feel down in the dumps, you hate life, it's just kind of stupid, it's getting at you. You would eat something alive, and it's because it's safe and innocent, like calamari to do. Just because. Like hypothetically, if they want, because women want, well, men just kind of want to be weird, women. The two genders are Aubrey, female, woman, demigirl, Weasley cat, and male. FTM transgender, male, cisgender guy, gender fluid, gender emotion, can be male or female, or a mixture of the two. I am not fully gender motion. I am gender motion community, which means I am the groups and gay origins. Because it is real as gay origins, guys. LGBT is seen as a fantasy group until Galate's time period and certain cosmologies and cosmos. I'm so happy you're from there. Earth is comedians level 2, meaning our statuses as a planet is level 2, and we would status it all on. Will a comedian joke about it in a stand-up routine? Cool, our planet will know about it. Otherwise, us in the Milky Way, even though the Milky Way is the cosmos itself, has taken the best bits and collaborating them together like an albatross road. Yeah. So as Adam, I'm actually an Earthling from Earth. I know that's a big shock as a Clon Harta. I consider myself from everywhere, and I'm from Gallifrey and Aldea. But, you know, the history of me from Marietta is that it was Gallifrey, and it was a lot of weird things. I'm also Japanese American, and my family doesn't know, and they're not to care, and I guess I gotta wrap this up. But pathological emo is also a Japanese English accent to explain aliens. Would it make sense in Japanese? Would it make sense in Japanese? In Dutch, I always have a Japanese accent, even Dutch English or Dutch arbitrary. I always sound Japanese and I don't speak it, and it is a really big burden. Well, I might be aracial without a skin color, and I might see in black and white, but I see the world like you do, and I can see a screen, and I know what a computer is. Sometimes I'm just obsessed with one, as I'm getting a new one from Black Friday soon, and I'm a technopath, meaning I'm bound to my objects as my body type. Well, is it Siamese to your computer if you're an ex-Siamese twin, as ex-someone literally stitched onto you? Donna Noble's bloodline is Siamese twin to my memory tapes. They are welcome to be this. It is totally fine that they're this. It's totally fine that you might need a Noble account for that streaming platform just to prove you're the blood. I don't care why it's a bloodline and not a family lineage. You know, as a Radia, I'm obsessed with bloodlines, I'm obsessed with noble elitism, and a white trailer trash at the same time. You can be many things, and it's totally fine, and that is the point of this retrospective. And as a retrospective, this whole video and the pitch is actually Pathologicals emo. It's dark, it's fairy, it's gritty, it is really cute with a lot of kid core hoodies, and I am 10 and 16 at the same time with a disorder. Please stop hating me as maturely 14 at least, or 13. Bye.